No more reforging? Thanks, Obama. Hey everybody, this is Michael Sparks. Welcome back to the Sparklepony Roundup. I know I had like a 2.5 week hiatus there. It was not intentional. Things have just been really crazy with IRL stuff. But bear with me. I'm going to take some measures to make sure that doesn't happen again. Anyway, as you may have read on Twitter, I decided to scrap the episode of Garrisons, which is part of why I didn't get anything out last week. If you really want to listen listen about Garrisons, I suggest you go over to the Zam channel, and Olivia Grace posted a amazing video that goes so in depth that I really felt that anything I could add to it would just be superfluous. So with that being said, I'm going to talk about one of the other major news pieces of Mists of Pandaria. A lot of people are talking about it since BlizzCon. I'm going to be talking about the gear changes that are going to be happening in Mists of Pandaria. And a lot of this is tentative speculation because we can't really say what's going to happen until we've seen the stat squish in action. Once we've seen the stat squish in action, we're going to know how much haste is really helpful per se, or how much spirit the healers are going to need. But in the meantime, it's all tentative speculation, and that's kind of what makes it an interesting subject to talk about, because we don't know exactly how this is going to go right now, and we're going to kind of take a look at that and see ways that it might. Okay, so first things first. Hit and expertise are gone. No more hit, no more expertise. We won't have to cap these stats anymore. Blizzard said that they really don't feel that this was compelling gameplay. It's just math that was unnecessary. And I can't agree more. I mean, think about it strictly from like a in-universe perspective. If you can't hit something that's the size of a barn, how are you a veteran level 90, level 100 warrior? Seems more like a level 2. So, I'm all for the removal. Hit and expertise drive me insane, especially in a post-Throne of Thunder world where everything is just absolutely crawling with hit, where I could be having other stats. Granted, I've phased out most of my TOT gear, but I think I'm still sitting at like 9 or 10% hit, and that's after reforging as much of it possible into other things that are more useful to me. So I'm all for that. While we're on that subject, reforging is going to be gone. Most people already knew about that. A lot of people are kind of panicking about that. A lot of people aren't really happy about that. But with the stats being squished the way they are, I honestly don't see the need for the program. I mean, or for the feature rather. The main thing with reforging was it was making stats that weren't so useful to you more useful. And with the stat squish incoming, I have a feeling that every stat is going to be more useful to you, at least in some manner. I mean, obviously there's going to be a best statistic, but with the scaling and, say, 50 mastery being like the equivalent to like maybe 5,000 mastery, I don't know the actual numbers. I'm bad at math, so even if I did know the numbers, I wouldn't count on me if it'd be an accurate mirror of what's going on there mathematically. If you want to find out about that, feel free to tweet Celestalon. He's the guy that is doing all of the numbers online. He actually works for Blizzard, so you're getting it straight from the horse's mouth. But as I was saying, I mean, everything's going to be scaled down, but it's also being scaled up in a way because each point of that stat is more to you. So don't count on really missing reforging a whole lot. I think that we're going to be just fine without it. And, I mean, once again, Blizzard raised an excellent point when they were talking about getting rid of it because, I mean, who honestly sits there and calculates all of their reforging? I can think of maybe one guy in my guild that does that, and that's just because he's too prideful to turn to Mr. Robot or to an add-on. And I often question his reforges. He's probably going to take offense to that, but the last two times he tried to help me with a character, he broke them both. So, I mean, just use Reforge Light. Just use Mr. Robot. I mean, that's what everybody does, and I mean, I'm gonna be curious to see how it impacts Mr. Robot after the expansion. I know they're working on a lot of other tools to get out of the "you should reforge and gem this way" stuff. But since that is the epicenter of their business model, I'm gonna be really curious to see how that site adapts and survives in Warlords. On an actual gameplay side of things, this is going to be great. I mean, you're not going to have to sit there and go like, oh, but I need this piece because if I get this piece, it's gonna give me more haste and it's gonna not knock me off of my expertise cap. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm gearing, that's totally a thing. I'm constantly While I'm constantly shaving hit off, I'm constantly finding places to put expertise on because it just doesn't seem like rogues have a whole lot of pieces that have them. And the pieces that they do have just have giant tertiary amounts. And that's not compelling gameplay, it's just frustrating. So, all for the removal of hidden expertise, all for the removal of reforging. As far as I know, Valor Point upgrades are also going away. I don't remember, but I think I remember them saying something about them completely overhauling the Justice and Valor Point system. I don't know if we've got any news on that as of yet. That'll probably be something we see more once the beta comes out, which we still have no idea when all that's going to take place. So it's a really fun guessing game right now.